we'll be getting started with our upper, lower, and core workout. So, as the name suggests, if you haven't joined before, is the workout consists of one upper body exercise, one lower body exercise, and one core exercise. These are done in 4 groups, and we'll do 3 sets of each, just as usual. 30 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. We'll start with our warm-up, and my favorite move to start with is these arm swings. So we'll just go ahead and start with that. So for today's workout, you actually don't need dumbbells. Mat, chair, bench, wall, all should be fine. You can use dumbbells for a few exercises, but it's not really all that necessary. All right, then we'll go into our shoulder rolls back. So I'm elevating my shoulders, bringing them back and down. Then we'll go forward. We'll go into our side lunge leans. So I'm not really doing a full lunge. Try to avoid my water there. It's more I'm just stepping and keeping the trail leg straight. Quite cold back here this morning. I'm wearing a sweater, but now that I am warming up, I am quite literally warming up. And then we'll go with our torso rotation. We'll go with the arms locked behind the head. Take that step forward, and we'll turn to that side. And we're going to do a bit of a larger step forward this time, just to get a little bit more of a warm-up in the quads. Get those legs a little bit more activated. Alternating through. And then we'll stand and alternate. And we'll finish off with just a little side jog. So kicking the feet out to the side. Nice and light on the toes. I've always liked this side jog because it warms up your hip abductors a lot. But I also find it's very easy on the joints. Perfect. We're just going to take 2 seconds. I'm going to get rid of this sweater. And we will get going as soon as I find where I put controller, phone. So in group 1, we have our prone W raises. So we're going to be on the ground, and I'm going to explain this one standing up so you can hear me, and I'm not turning my head. Our W is like this, right? We formed a W with our body. And then what I'm going to do while I'm laying on my stomach is I'm going to lift my elbows off the ground, like so. And by doing that, I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together. And you can go ahead and you can do that standing up. If you think of yourself as more of a very beginner sort of exercise, you can really just focus on retracting those elbows, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Or you can join me on the ground. Lateral walks, we're going to be in that quarter squat position. You can do 2 to the left, 2 to the right. I'll show you a way that we can make that a little harder on the second round. And then glute bridge marches. Take this because I'll be on the ground. Just like our glute bridge or our single leg glute bridge, right? We're in that glute bridge position. And I'm going to alternate marching without rotating my hips, right? So I stay nice and stable the whole time, and I'll turn just so you can sort of see that. You know, as I'm up, I stay stable the whole time. Wasn't ready for tongue twisters this morning. All right, so we'll get going with our prone W raises. Hopefully this clock works when I hit it. In 3, 2, and 1. And there it goes. So you actually want to keep your forehead on the ground. Why I'm not doing it is just so that you can hear me speak. I'm lifting my elbows up, squeezing my shoulder blades together, keeping my feet on the ground, my chest on the ground, my head on the ground. We're halfway there. Keep breathing, squeeze those shoulder blades. All right, 10 seconds of rest. We'll go into our lateral walks. Just gonna move my water back, and we're into them. I understand there's only so much effective area for you guys to see me once I have that screen up, dictating my exercises. 15 more seconds. Staying low in that athletic position. And time. All right. Glute bridge marches. We're on the ground. My feet are close to my bottom. Hips are up. And I'm alternating. Walking with my legs. All right, keeping my hips high up in the air. Not letting them sag. So you can see I have a nice line from hip to shoulder, and when I extend, a nice line from ankle to shoulder. 10 more seconds. All right, that'll give us enough time to go into our prone W's. We're on the ground again, on our stomach. And really, when I go through this exercise, I'm really focusing more on lifting my elbows up to squeeze my shoulder blades. I'm not so focused on, lifting my hands up or lifting my arms up. I focus on lifting my elbows up, squeezing my shoulder blades together, and then I don't touch the ground on this exercise. I squeeze up as much as I can, and then lower as much as I can without touching the floor. So I'm going to grab a resistance band this time through while I do my lateral walks. You guys can go ahead and start while I go through this. Oh. And I can just do my lateral walks while in a band. And now I've provided a little bit of resistance. Five seconds. And this band always provides all the resistance I need on that exercise. Holy cow. All right, glute bridge marches. We're on the ground, starting in 3, 2, and 1. And I forgot to count the round again. It's becoming a death and taxes thing. Death, taxes, and they forget to make sure we're on the correct round number, so people just joining us don't know what happened to, round 2. We went from round 1 to round 3. All right. Into our prone W's. I'll just remedy that real quick. All right, prone W's on my stomach. I'll give you guys the front view this time. You guys should be going. Hard for me to read the clock on this one, so I'm gonna do my best to look up when I can. But I'm gonna keep my head down for this one and power through. Hopefully you don't sound too muffled. 3, 2, And one. All right, up into those lateral walks. Just enough time to get up, maybe grab a sip of water. And we're into them. I'm going to keep that band. I'll give you guys sort of the side view here. I really push my hips back, right? That's the first part, bend to the knees, chest stays up. And then I'm just walking. All right, you can see all the nice straight lines from ankle to knee, knee to hip, hip to shoulder, right? That means I'm not causing any extra unnecessary stress on any joints. That shouldn't be somehow bunched up my mat there. Last round, last exercise and last round of group 1. We have 4 groups today. So far, so good. 20 seconds. Keep those hips up. Push those hips up. Don't allow your hips to rock. And time. All right. Fix that. We're gonna stop that. Down to round 1. And we are on group 2. So our single leg bent knee dips. I'm gonna try doing from this chair here. Oh, hopefully I didn't end the broadcast on that. I did stop recording though, so I have to hit that again, and it's gonna be a treat to pair those two together. So single leg bent knee dips, as the name suggests, I have my legs bent at 90-90. If I want to make it a little harder, I can walk them a little further out. And then the single leg part is I'm just lifting one leg up. Halfway through, we'll switch sides. Step ups, I'm already here at the chair. One more thing I do want to mention about the dips, and I'll give you this angle here. And I don't spend enough time on this. Actually, we'll go back this way. Hopefully you can see it. But ideally, I'm pinching my elbows to my side. I might be a little long today with these explanations, but I really focus on keeping my elbows pinched while keeping my shoulders back. And that's what really targets the tricep area, and not so much the shoulder area where some people tend to feel their dips. Step ups, just as the name suggests, we step up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down. We're going to use opposite arm, opposite leg while we're climbing. You'll notice I led with my left going up, going down, and I led with my right going up and going down. So we'll alternate like that. High plank tap outs. High plank, tap out with the feet. Notice how my hips don't wobble. Maybe if I was to start going wider, it's a little harder, but maybe my hips start to wobble. So we really don't want those hips to wobble. Again, from the front. Looks like that. Don't kick over your water. All right, so we'll get going. 3, 2, and 1. That timer. Oh, we're single leg. Starting with my right leg up. Push my elbows together like I'm squeezing a beach ball behind my back. Switch sides. Less than 10. Squeeze that beach ball. And time. Excellent. Go into our step ups. Whew. Hopefully I'm not too bright under this light. See if this will look too pale. Taking my time because I'm thinking about which leg I should be stepping down with. But really, just try to move through at your own best pace. We want to stay even as much as we can, but don't let it slow down your workout. All right, then high plank tap outs. High plank, nice straight line from shoulder to ankle, and we just do these lateral tap outs with our legs. Those hips down, not too high, not too low, right? It's that nice straight line. Three, two, and one. All right. Got time for a sip of water. Get right into those bent knee dips. Round two. Single leg bent knee dips, I should say. Halfway. Squeezing that beach ball. I try to keep the leg that's up straight and with my toe pointed, just as a little bit of added challenge for myself. You can go ahead and join me on that. All right, time. Oh, starting to sweat now. Oh, wow. We go into our step ups. The little trick that I'm doing is I'm keeping the arm up, the opposite leg, and that's just keeping me a little bit more engaged. All right, they have time on that one. I play tap outs. Enough time to get to the ground on this one, it feels like. No problem there. Those hips in line. Everything else. Keep my hips stable. You don't need to do the tap out if you find that the plank is too difficult. If you find even the plank too difficult, right, you can go into this modified plank, high plank. I don't suggest doing the tap outs in that position, but you can sure ahead. You can go ahead. All right, we're in the modified dips again, or the bent knee dips. Keep my legs straight. You know, you always have to meet yourself where you're at. You can't expect to do anything that isn't reasonable for you. Switch sides. We have to work into our own limitations. You know, maybe you want to push yourself a little bit, but that doesn't mean doing something that you're uncomfortable with doing. All right, 10 seconds. Whew. Did I go a little too late? I did go a little too late. All right, a little extra bit of rest here. I might actually just cut this one short because we are running a little bit behind on time. So my brain part, my benefit to you might be cutting you short. All right, yeah, it's on. I just thought we could stay on time here. Sometimes the brain doesn't work so well. We'll go into those plank tap outs. While you're exercising, maybe it's the early morning, whatever it is, it happened. Strong plank position. Feeling it in my core. I find the tap outs have a little bit of stability challenge, but more so, I think the time go by really fast. All right. That brings us to group 3. We have our hand release push-ups. forward lunges and widening mountain climbers. I'm going to show you the hand release push-ups and the mountain climbers while I'm on the ground. So hand release push-ups, if you remember from last week, push-up position, release the hands, push back up. You can do this for modified, push back up, or you can combine the two, right? We can lower ourselves, push ourselves up, back in the modified. Wide knee mountain climbers, high plank position, knee to the outside without wobbling the hips, right? So when I'm doing that, hips don't wobble, stay nice and strong throughout. And then our second exercise are forward knee lunges, or forward lunges. Just alternating, opposite arm, opposite leg, of course. That step forward. That back leg is only ever a kickstand, right? Front leg's doing all the work. Look at all my angles, look nice and good. That's what we're looking for. If you want to modify, I suggest just going into the squat, the quarter squat, chair squat, whatever you need to do. All right. We're going with those hand release push-ups. And 3, 2, and 1. And I'm going to go ahead and do a few of these ones that I recommend doing if you're sort of stuck in that, you can't do a full push-up phase, because these are an excellent way of bridging that gap, into being able to do a full push-up. And I sort of cheated on that while explaining. So forward lunges are next. We're up on our feet. We're alternating. I'll just give you a front view. You guys can continue doing that. Just want to get stuck on the mat here, just so you can sort of see how far apart my feet are when I'm lunging. 10 more seconds. My back knee goes about 2 to 3 inches, 1 to 3 inches above the ground. Excellent. Wide knee mountain climbers are next. High plank position again. We're getting used to this position. Then I'm just driving my knee to the outside of the same side elbow, without losing my form. I'm staying nice and strong. You can certainly go a little faster with these. You can almost take it into a run, as they are called, mountain climbers. But I find this nice slow form really works my core. All right, hand release push-ups. And maybe you're at the point where you can do a few of these regular ones. But maybe not quite. So maybe you drop into a few modifieds. You can do full, you can do a few full, few modifieds. You can mix it up throughout the workout to make your workout your own. Forward lunges, and we are on round 2. So counts that I remembered. And we're going again. Again, the modification, what I would do, just in that squat. And if you wanted to make it a little harder, you could grab your dumbbells and hold your dumbbells at your side. Then to go. All right, widening mountain climbers. Really starting to breathe heavy here. Starting to sweat. So you know it's a good workout today. I'm not sure if you saw my post today or yesterday around rate of perceived exertion, or RPE. This is a good example, right? I can get out full sentences while I exercise. 10 more seconds. But I clearly can't think. Alright. For our hand release push-ups, I'm going to go modified here because I'm getting quite gassed. I can get out full sentences while I talk. But I need to take breaks in between them. I can't really sing to you. But I am able to talk, so that sort of puts us in that 4 to 6 range, right? And I would say with these strength exercises, you know, it's not the same as cardio. It's a little bit harder. So I would say I'm at that, you know, that 6 mark. And that's sort of where you want to gauge with your workouts how hard you want them to be, right? Do you want to work at a 6 out of 10? You want to work at a 7 out of 10? I always say if you put in a 7 out of 10 effort every time, you're going to improve, right? Because that 7 out of 10, you know, your 7 out of 10 intensity hasn't changed, but the work that you're going to be doing will certainly have changed, right? And that you can do a 7 out of 10. We're on round 3. Into those wide knee mountain climbers for the final time. So if you ever want to sort of ensure you're always working hard enough so that you're always improving, check in with yourself. Say, how hard am I working right now? How hard do I feel I'm working? Am I being true to that 7 out of 10? Am I pushing a little harder? Am I phoning it in? If you're true to yourself in that regard and you're honest, you'll always improve. All right, last group. We have our modified clap push-ups, burpees, and our low plank with lateral arm raises. I'm going to say I didn't really like reading those exercises out loud. They seem pretty hard. So the modified clap push-ups, we're going to stay in that modified position. Push up, clap at the top, push up, clap at the top. You don't have to add in the clap. Burpees, everyone's favorite exercise that they always have fun with, and they don't hate them. We jump up, down, out, up. Modified burpee, in case you don't want to sort of jump, is we can hinge down, step out, step in, stand up, right? I'll be doing a mixture of the two. We're going to get right into those flat push-ups because I'm running very behind today. Very slow explainer, I found. But, you know, nothing wrong with that unless you have somewhere to be, which I imagine a lot of you do, so I apologize. We're going to go with modified flat push-ups in 3, 2, and 1. Modified push-up position. Down, up. I try to keep tension the whole time, right? Like I don't push myself back and clap, right? So that would keep no time under tension. This is just giving us a little bit more explosiveness in our push-up, right? It takes a lot of force to push yourself up into that clap position. Burpees. Yeah, take these at your own pace. This is a beginner class. We don't need to make ourselves puke or anything. I really don't want that. These are very similar to the plank thrusters that we did last week. We're just adding a little extra movement. We're halfway there. A little extra explosiveness into the exercise. All right, we'll go right into our break here. Low plank with lateral arm raises. I didn't explain these. As the name suggests, we get into our low plank. You can go from the knees, from the hips. We're just alternating at halfway. Just lifting our arm up. Go ahead and alternate. Ugh. I just kicked my phone. Hopefully still recording. Be a little sad at this point if I have to piece 3 together. And time. Excellent. 10 seconds to rest. You can go ahead and take a little extra if you need to. I am, because I need to get some water. You can go ahead and those modified flat push-ups in 2 and 1. All that talking and exercising can be thirsty work. Almost there. 5 more seconds. Keep pushing, keep pushing. And time. Good. And those burpees. Never know why they call them burpees. Again, if you want to do those modified ones, I reach up, roll my legs down, hinge my legs, hips back, walk out. Sorry, that was a half modified. I'll do a full modified this time. So hinge, crawl, walk, 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 right? I'll do one more. Walk, 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 right? All right, 10 seconds to get back into our low plank position. 25 marks when we're switching. Or 35 marks when we're switching. So I'll switch sides or get working on it. Take some time to switch. Nice strong side plank position, right? I keep my hips up, they're not sagging. If I find they're sagging, I'm going to drop to my knees, right? Final round. We'll finish strong. I'm suffering, so I know you guys are suffering. I do want to show you a modified push-up, though. We can always do our incline, right? And if you want to throw the clap into your incline push-up, you can certainly do that. Works the exact same muscles, exact same properties. I still need to generate a lot of force out of my push-up if I want to get that clap in, right? One more. All right, 10 seconds rest. Go into those burpees. Either modified or regular. Good. Those modified ones are still challenging. I find you might not be able to get as many in because the burpee is a quick exercise. Remember, I'm not trying to make you guys lose your breakfast or anything. Just move at a pace that's comfortable for you and that you can keep going the whole time. And just like that, we're done. Do our low planks. Number 35 is our switch mark. If you're sagging, again, from the knees, right? Still has to use that core to engage. And we'll switch. Might be easier for you guys just to roll over. Oh, I would say facing the camera the whole time. Less than 10. Push, 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 push. And time. All right. Just onto our back. Arms overhead in that Y. Huh. Great workout today, everyone. Really nice job. Scratch a bit. Whoa. I'm feeling that one. That was a tough one. If you stuck with me all the way through, whether you need to take breaks or not, extra breaks, whether you need to pause video if it's not live, excellent work. We'll cross our left leg over our right leg. Bring my right leg up, left hand through the hole, right hand on the outside of the right leg, and I'm pulling the right leg towards my chest. Oh, didn't realize how hard I was breathing until I just stopped. Switch sides. That's good though. You know, when we're only using 30 minutes to exercise, we want to make it count, right? We're going to sit up and we're going to go into this butterfly stretch. So what I'm doing is I'm touching the soles of my feet together, bringing them as close as I can to my groin, and then I'm just actively trying to push my knees down while keeping my chest up. And you'll feel a stretch on your inner thighs. We used a lot of our abductors and adductors, a lot of side-to-side exercises. You know, we use them in our lunges too. But like even things like the wide knee mountain climbers, right? We have to use our hip abductors to drive our knees out. Less so well, a little bit up too. But, you know, we really still have to use those muscles. And we'll stop our timer. Stand up, last stretch. We'll just do our handcuff stretch. So I am very much over time. I'm trying to shorten that a lot. Again, I'm just holding my wrist while I drive my shoulders back and down. And I'm going to switch which wrist I'm grabbing. I just like to make sure that everyone feels like they have the exercise explained to them well. If you're, you know, one of the few people that watches it and you want it to go a little bit snappier, want it to go a little bit quicker, you've sort of got an idea of how all the exercises work, just leave me a comment, right? Let me know. But until then, thank you everyone for joining me. I hope you enjoyed your workout, and I will see you on Thursday. You guys have a wonderful day.